The first time she laughed at me, the whole cafe went quiet. Not because it was funny, but because it was cruel.
Hey guys, before we dive into today's family revenge story, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. And I'm curious, where are you watching from right now? Comment your country and current time below. All right, let's begin. This is the story of a family pushed to the edge, and what happened next will shock you.
My name is Evan Cole, 32, white, American. Ordinary guy with an unremarkable face and a life that hadn't broken yet. I was standing near the counter of a packed downtown coffee shop in Austin, Texas, holding a cardboard tray with 2 drinks I didn't even order for myself. They were for Lena, my ex-girlfriend. She hadn't expected to see me. I could tell by the way her smile froze for half a second. Then it came back, sharper, louder, performative. "Well, look at this," she said, turning to her friends. "My ex, the guy who thought he was going to make it." Laughter, phones lifted. Someone whispered my name like it was gossip worth recording. I hadn't approached her. I hadn't said a word. I was just there, existing, and that was enough for her to start. She looked me up and down slowly, my worn jacket, my cheap boots, the exhaustion I hadn't slept off. "Still chasing dreams, Evan?" she asked loudly. "Or are you finally accepting your average?" More laughter. 6 months earlier, she'd walked out of my apartment with a suitcase and a smile, telling me she needed someone on her level. She'd upgraded fast. New boyfriend, new social circle, new Instagram personality built on sarcasm and cruelty disguised as confidence. I stood there while she told the cafe how I borrowed money, how I never went anywhere, how I was dead weight. She didn't mention that I paid the rent when she was unemployed. She didn't mention that I backed her career while mine stalled. She didn't mention how she left the second I hit rock bottom. She just enjoyed the imbalance. Pretty girl, popular crowd, public stage. And me, silent, alone, humiliated. When she finished, she smirked. "No hard feelings, right?" I nodded, put the drinks down, walked out. Outside, the Texas heat hit my face, but it didn't burn as much as the truth settling in. She didn't just leave me. She needed me to be small. And that was the moment something in me hardened, not into rage, but into clarity. I didn't want to scream. I didn't want revenge fast. I didn't want to confront her. I wanted time, because people like Lena don't fear anger. They fear being proven wrong, slowly, publicly, and without mercy. I disappeared. Not dramatically, not with announcements or posts. I just stopped existing in her world. I deleted my social media, changed gyms, took night shifts, let people assume whatever they wanted. I let her story become the only version anyone heard because that gave her confidence, and confidence makes people careless. I took a contract job most people overlooked, operations analyst for a regional logistics startup. Boring title, long hours, no glamour, but it paid enough, and more importantly, it exposed me to how systems actually work. While Lena was busy building a brand around mockery, podcast clips, sarcastic reels, sponsored posts, I was learning leverage. Data, timelines, contracts, patterns. I learned who funded what, who depended on whom, which reputations were inflated and which were fragile. And occasionally, Lena crossed my screen. She was dating a mid-tier influencer now. Together, they marketed authentic confidence, which mostly meant publicly tearing others down, including me. She told a story on a live stream once, didn't say my name, but everyone knew. "A man who couldn't provide," she said. "I carried him, then I dropped him." Thousands watched, thousands laughed. I didn't react. I saved the clip. Months passed, promotions came, my salary doubled,
My posture changed. My silence became expensive. And then, without warning, opportunity handed me a knife. The startup I worked for entered negotiations with a marketing agency. That agency represented Lena. I almost smiled. I said nothing, let the process unfold. Contracts were reviewed, background checks, public image assessments, risk analysis, and Lena, loud, reckless, confident Lena, had left a trail. Public harassment, recorded mockery, sponsored posts violating disclosure laws, quiet accusations framed as jokes, old live streams, old cafe videos, all archived. When the agency asked for my input, I spoke once. Calm, professional, precise. This partnership carries reputational risk. I didn't say her name. I didn't have to. The room went silent. They pulled the deal. Then another brand followed. Then another. Lena noticed something was wrong when emails stopped coming back. She posted jokes about haters, but confidence cracks when bills don't laugh with you. She started reaching out to old contacts, old favors, even to me. "Hey," she messaged. "Long time. Hope you're doing okay." I stared at the screen, didn't reply. Because the best revenge doesn't announce itself. It lets the other person slowly realize the ground beneath them is gone.
The irony was beautiful. She lost everything the same way she built it, in public. Brands quietly dropped her first. Then collaborators distanced themselves. Her boyfriend disappeared from photos before disappearing from her life. She went live more often, desperate to stay relevant. That's when the past came back. Viewers started reposting her old clips, the cafe, the live streams, the jokes about losers, the cruelty she thought was forgotten. People asked questions. Isn't this bullying? Didn't she preach kindness last year? Why does she always punch down? Sponsors don't like questions. Neither does the internet when hypocrisy leaks. She tried damage control, apologies that sounded like excuses, tears that came too late, claims of being misunderstood. Then the final hit landed. A journalist picked up the story, not about me, but about online harassment culture. Lena was a case study. Screenshots, timelines, context. No exaggeration, just facts. She messaged me again. This time, no emojis. "I know this is about me." I replied with one sentence. "You made it public first." Nothing more. The article went viral. She didn't get canceled dramatically. She got abandoned. Followers dropped. Comments turned cold. Invitations stopped. The same people who laughed in the cafe now scrolled past her without stopping. I ran into her months later. Same street, different lives. She didn't laugh this time. She looked tired, smaller. "Evan," she said quietly, "I didn't think it would go this far." I nodded, calm, grounded. I did. There was nothing else to say. No insults, no speeches, no celebration. Just the quiet humiliation of realizing the person you mocked became the standard you failed to meet. I never posted my success. I never told my version publicly. I didn't need to, because karma doesn't shout. It documents. Lena tried to pivot. New brand, new tone. Growth era. But once people see who you are when you think no one's watching, they don't forget. Meanwhile, my life stabilized. Better job, better circle, better silence. Not because I won, but because I refused to play her game. The real transformation wasn't money or status. It was dignity. I learned something brutal and freeing. People who humiliate you publicly are betting you'll react emotionally or disappear permanently. They never plan for you to outgrow the room. The cafe still exists. I walk past it sometimes. I don't feel anger. I feel relief. Because the man who stood there holding drinks for someone who mocked him doesn't exist anymore.
and the woman who laughed, she has to live with the echo of it forever.